Hello and welcome to episode 94 of Tom's Hirschsprung's podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Sandeep Kumar, and we are going to discuss all about Hirschsprungs this evening. And welcome to the podcast, Sandeep, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome, Tom.
No problem, no problem. Now, you're coming all the way from India. I haven't had anybody from India on the podcast yet, so it's another country I've ticked off the list. Um, and we're here to chat about your child who has Hirschsprung's. And I guess it's kind of up to you really whereabouts you'd like to start, if you want to start from the beginning or whereabouts.
Yeah, so I'll start with the beginning actually. From the after the first day of delivery, so the some of the signs we have seen. So he was not able to pass the stool as a normal child does. So we were like not that was not a big concern for us. So we had connected with the doctor and he told us that just put him under observation in an ICU. So we did the same. But what happened? The condition got severe because he was after that day. In the second day, he was not able to pass the stool at all. So he had gone under the X-ray and CT scans, and then it got detected like it could be a sign of Hirschsprung. So then I got to know this is kind of rarest disease that happens actually every in every 10,000 male. It is a rare disease. One or two cases are there. So that was a rare disease. But my child was diagnosed with a TCA, that is total colonical agangliosis. So that is a rarest to rarest disease that happens like within those 1% of the student, child, it happens like 1 to 2. So that is what the issue it has been identified, and then we had gone he had gone under multiple surgeries. So in a year he had gone under like 4 to 5 surgeries has happened.
Yeah,
So with the grace of God, everything is, as of now, it is on the track.
fantastic. That's really good to hear. As you said, total ganglionosis, rarer than rare. I think what did you say? One sort of one in two of the 5,000. I mean, you're talking sort of
Yeah.
one in probably several hundred thousand, if not million. I I don't know exactly what the odds are, but it's infinitesimally small, I believe. But
So
it's sorry, go on.
yeah. So uh, I know like the viewers are there and they know about the Hirschsprung disease, but just to like in the case uh, within the colon, that is called a ganglion cells. So whenever it is missing, so what it does, it just passes the stools from the small intestine, large intestine till to the rectum. But whenever it is missing, so the stool will not be able to pass on by itself. So that particular part is called like defective. But when in the case of total colonical ankylosis, there no ganglion cell was found in his entire large intestine. So with the surgery, the entire large intestine has to be removed. So he is like surviving on the small intestine as well. So it will take time.
Yeah, most definitely. No, it's a really good explanation because again, I tend to forget as I sit here. I usually think that everybody who's listening to this knows exactly what Hirschsprung's is and knows exactly the different types. And I forget that actually a lot of people that listen to this are, friends and family of yours potentially, and friends and family of the people who just want to hear about their friend's episode or their friend's child's episode. And I tend to forget that actually there are people listening who don't know, you've never even heard of Hirschsprung's until they maybe click on the podcast that their friend is on. So actually, yeah, explaining from time to time, I think it's a really good idea. So thank you so much for doing that because Yeah, I tend to forget. I live in a bubble, really, and I tend to talk to people who, like yourself, know exactly what Hirschsprung's is and what it's called, and ganglion cells, and all these things that are completely normal to us. I mean, we know what ganglion cells are. We know large intestine, small intestine, short segment, long segment. But you say that to
Yeah.
99% of people, they say, "What's a ganglion cell?" They'll go, "No idea." So I think we do tend to live in a little bit of a bubble. But no, thank you so much for that. So in terms of diagnosis,
Yeah.
I think was it around about 2 months of diagnosis, or was it a bit earlier than that?
So in the initial stage, on the third day after his birth,
Oh,
so uh, actually he has been diagnosed. So the X-ray has been done and some kind of dye it's been put from his nose. So the upper body diagnosis was done, and on time to time, like multiple X-rays has been done after an hour. Like after every hour, it has been done till like 8 to 10 hours. So then it was confirmed that this is having a sign. So as per your question, so it is in the early stage it was identified, but after 2 months it got severe because for 10 days he was not able to pass the stool, and he got fever actually. And the fever was because of the infection that was being in the body. So just because of not passing the stool, and that stool was creating that particular infection within the body. So after like he for 10 days he was not able to pass the stool. Then we had like rushed to the nearest nursing home, and we contacted the doctor. Then again the this thing was diagnosed from the lower section of the body. So from rectum they have put the dye, and then it got detected like now the ganglion cells are missing, and that is a sign of Hirschsprung. And since the infection level is high, so it has to be operated on immediate basis. So that is what has happened. And at the end, the doctor whom we consulted, and the first surgery happened. So she told that it is a miracle that he has survived for 2 months, because earlier, in the earlier stage, if a child is diagnosed with this kind of disease, it is like very rare if not operated. So it is rare for them to survive. So like I thank to God, because of him, like he has survived, and we have saved him.
yeah. No, that's incredibly fortunate because again, it's one of those conditions, isn't it, where the longer it goes sort of untreated, the more chance you've got of fevers, infections, sepsis obviously being something that is very much connected with Hirschsprung's as well. And you talked about um, the first surgery. Was the first surgery the pull through, or was it something else?
So first surgery was it was a pull through because she has created a stoma, because he was not able to pass the stool. So with the stoma section, he has to go and like pass the stool. So that has happened, and the second surgery was like she told us that after like 5 to 6 months, the stoma will be closed, and everything will be normal. So the first surgery happened, and the pull through was there. Within the section they have created the stoma, the first stoma.
Yeah. And is the stoma there now, or was the stoma closed on the second surgery?
So what has happened actually? It was supposed since it the he was operated in the month of June. So the another surgery was supposed to be happened in the month of November. But unfortunately, there is like hypoallergic kind of, I forgot the name of the milk. The formulated milk was there. So she recommended that particular powder, and like that after consuming that particular powder, his health was good. But what has happened, that like he was not able to pass the stool, since the stoma was not created properly, because in the condition where we admitted him, he was like having a high level of infection in the body. So it was on the discretion of doctor to take the decision whether to create the stoma from small intestine section or the lower section of the uh, uh, small section of the this thing intestine. So that was not successful. So in the month of August, he has to be operated again. Like he was operated again because of the emergency case. He was not able to pass the stool. So it means the first surgery was not successful. So another stoma has been created. So in the second case, it had been created before the stipulated time. Like instead of November, it has been done in the month of August itself.
And that so the first one not being successful, the second one was the second one successful.
So second one was, since doctor had got the experience of like his condition, medical condition, because from one doctor only we were consulting. So she told that now she is going to create the stoma from small intestine. Now on that particular intestine, that can be like that will give us a extra time, a buffer time to stay and just let the baby develop, because multiple surgeries can't be happened. So that is also one of the cases. If baby is not gaining the weight, so then if he is going to be operated, then it is very risky for his life. So he has to gain the weight as well. So although like because of the rare condition and emergency situation, it has happened like second surgery within a month. Uh, but it has to happen after 6 months. So that was created from the small intestine, and we were just waiting to like let him gain the weight. So as soon as he will gain the weight, then that was like that has given us a ample amount of time to be ready, like from our mindset.
That is no, it's good. Usually there is sort of a big gap between sort of the first and the second because they kind of want to see. Again, I'm just going off from what other people have told me and other parents have told me. They tend to be they just sort of want to see how things progress and things like food and diet and lots of other things that they just sort of want to see progress. Was that sort of a similar situation for you?
So yeah, that was there because uh, from the diet section, if we'll say, still he is having some issue, having like uh, more quantity of iron, he won't be able to digest properly because his stools will be like loose. If we are giving more fiber, so he will be able to like he will frequently do the motions. If we include less fiber, then it will be constipation for him. So that was the situation, and we had asked doctors like what to give. We are unaware of the thing, so they told us like there is no set rule for that because it depend on the child's condition and how the body reacts. So you have to do trial and test. So you just give the food, and if he's passing the stool properly, it means it is like good for his health, yeah, for his body, like it his body is accepting. If it is like the stool is loose, then it is not good for his health. So that's how like we learn like what to give, what not to give. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it does sound a lot like his trial and error, isn't it? It's kind of you trial one thing, whether it works, whether it doesn't work, and then you sort of, I guess you have to sort of tick that one off and saying, right, we tried that, it does work, or we tried that, it doesn't work, and then just, and I see that with so many people where Hirschsprung's is that type of condition where there isn't really a set rule, as you said, or a book. If somebody could produce a book that said you need to do A, B, C, and D, and then
Yeah.
everything will be fine, that would be amazing. But there's so many different, was there about six different types, and each different
Yeah.
type, everybody reacts differently. Everybody has a different amount of surgeries, different amount. Some can eat this, some can't eat that, and I guess from parental point of view, I guess it is the only thing you can do is trial and error, I guess.
Yeah.
It tends to be kind of yeah, and I see that with quite a few people where they they just have to sort of, yeah, see how they go. And then you might
Yeah.
find as well that, if it's anything like my case, where there'll be some foods that disagree with you when you're younger, that you're absolutely fine when you're older, which makes no
Yeah.
sense. Absolutely no sense. And nobody can quite figure it out. But I guess that could be a situation you find yourself with your son as well. So I guess it's just sort of wait and see. In terms of, if I go back slightly to the surgeries, how many surgeries have there been in total?
How many surgeries has happened like?
Yeah,
So the second surgery, as I told, that has happened in the month of August. Then we have changed the doctor because we were like the answers were not satisfactory because it's that is also one of the point that we should stick, although the condition of the baby is not good, but we should have like multiple opinion from experienced doctors as well. So, and like another experienced doctor we had got and consulted him. So he suggested us to go ahead with the what we say, taking the sample of the uh, from the part of like large intestine, whether because I insisted like why not to go ahead and like check it again whether the ganglion cells are present or not, because in the previous biopsy, so some signs we have seen like there could be chances of having the ganglion cells. And I want to like point out one more thing. If ganglion cells are not present since birth, that is what from the doctors studies what they have suggested us, with the like growing age it won't develop. If it is not present from the birth, there is no chance, zero chance of like developing it further. So it means that God has created the passes, but in between He has stopped the passes. So there afterwards, nothing is there. So if it is not there, so it won't be there. So that is what like we were having the since being a father, being a mother of a child, like my wife is there. So we had hope to go ahead and let it go. Like there could be chances of having the ganglion cells, and we can skip this particular process of removing the entire large intestine from the body. But unfortunately, another biopsy said the same thing. The results had came, no ganglion cells were there. So after that, uh, another stoma had been created. So the surgery happened in the month of April, and then the closure was there. That was the pull through in the month of May. So in total, like including the biopsy, we like the biopsy was also a minor surgery, so there were like 4 to 5 surgeries.
4 or 5 in total. Okay, and they all happened sort of relatively quickly, I guess, in like most circumstances of Hirschsprung's within the first sort of 18 months or so. Is that about right? Or a bit
Uh,
earlier than that?
yeah, yeah, sure. Because in the month of March, he had birth. So March to March 1 year, and then yeah, so 15 to 16 within 15 to 16 months. So four to
Yeah,
five surgeries has happened.
yeah. So sort of fairly sort of, not that there's really a standard case of total intestinal. There isn't really. I mean, it's so rare that there's not as much research on it. I mean, I think I've only
Yeah.
read probably three stories in the last 18 months of people who have. So it's, I mean, it's rare, as we said before, but it's sort of rarer than rare. I mean, I don't quite know all the chances and everything, but that is, yeah, phenomenally rare. And I know we've sort of touched on a little bit of diet, and we've touched on a little bit of sort of how both you and your wife found your life after the diagnosis. Obviously it came as a, I imagine a big shock to both of you. How did you kind of manage that process between you?
Between the diagnosis and the
Yeah,
actual
yeah,
like
just
things
in
happen.
terms of sort of dealing with the shock, I guess, of having that.
Uh, So unfortunately, like just my baby got birth. Like he got birth in the month of March 2023. My father had expired in the month of December
Sorry to hear that.
2022. Yeah. So like we were kind of going through one like kind of sentiment, and although we were very happy that we have got child, but when again things happened, so it was very difficult for us to handle the situation at that particular of time. So like we were thinking like why it is happening with us, because one thing, as we are also already going through the like hard time, and again the god has given us a gift, but that is the kind of like you can consider as a like a kind of defect is there.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing we were having, that was very hard time actually for us, because we were like the same kind of thing was happening, like my father was when he had died, like kind of things were there, although it is out of the context in this particular podcast. But the thing is like he was like at the during the end of his life, so he was also having the stoma, kind
Oh,
of like yeah, he was having the carcinoma. He had the carcinoma, and for that he got treated. So he had two pouches created, like two stomas were there. So we were thinking like whether it is resembling with the situation, and since it is very recent, the incident happened, so it was like very difficult for us to emotionally, mentally, and financially as well.
yeah.
So the
No.
diagnosis happened, so it was really a big shock for us. So how the things will go, but initial days were okay, and then he started passing the stools, as I told, like from the first surgery, from the birth till first surgery, he was fine, doing fine. With the grace of God, the things were happening. So then we forgot everything. Like now the things are normal, just like we thought, like the things will be okay. So that we considered like that was the time that had gone. Now it is okay. So that was the feeling, like mix of the feeling was there. So yeah, that is what like we had the kind of feeling and sentiments during that time.
Yeah, yeah, and understandably an incredibly difficult time. And I guess it just shows how strong both you and your wife are, that you managed to get through that time, and now to the point, I think as you said right at the beginning, now your son's doing really well, and is sort of doing everything. I think you sort of alluded to doing everything all the other children do, I guess. And on that point, I guess sort of with him, how is he now, sort of both sort of health wise and kind of in life wise?
So health wise, I will come to the health wise. Then in general, I will tell. So we had contacted the doctor, and they told us like it will take around like 45 years around, because our mechanism is like that. Uh, like if we are eating something, then it will go through the small intestine, then from the large intestine, then it goes out from our body. But for in his case, the entire section is not there. So to adapt for that particular thing, the mind will take time. That we have like it, a small intestine has to store the stool, and then it will pass. So that will take around like 5 years of time at least to settle down. So medically, so that is there. We are also having kind of challenges. So what has happened after surgery? He was passing the stools around like 6 to 7 times in a day, but now it has reduced to like 3 to 4 times or 5 times max. So gradual improvement is there, but it will take time. Since it is a small intestine, so that is the part where the juices are created, but that juice like contains the acid as well. So whenever we like we somehow like if we are having the busy time, and we forgot to like clean the part. Okay, so it leave the patches, that kind of patches. So we should be very cautious while cleaning. Like we have to take care of him closely. Like as and when he is doing passing the stool, within an hour we have to clean it. So that is what the medically things are. But the things are like gradually in improvement. Life is like hyperactive. So if you can allow me, so I can just bring him on this podcast as well.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
sure. Just give me a moment.
Yep.
Just give me a moment. He's just coming.
That's absolutely fine. No, it'd be
Uh,
great to move on. Great to move on because, like I said, I don't meet many people who have his exact type of Hirschsprungs. And it's always great to see. Hi, welcome.
Say hi. Hi. Say hi. Hi, Blue. Hi, Blue.
Hi, how are you?
Blue, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. Excellent. Excellent. We've just been talking about you and all of your Hirschsprungs, your Hirschsprung's condition.
He hardly understand the English, but some
No, no,
words he catches. Yeah.
that's absolutely fine. No, thank you. I mean, we've been
Yeah.
chatting
Say
a
bye.
little bit. I think you're the youngest guest I've ever had. Amazing. Thank you. I mean, hey,
Pleasure.
look, looks again,
Pleasure.
it's one of the,
Just a
sorry.
minute.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, it's one of those things, Hirschsprungs, where if you were to look at any one of us with Hirschsprungs, you wouldn't be able, if you were to line up 10 people in a row and say spot the person with Hirschsprungs, you wouldn't be able to tell. And it
Yeah.
seems exactly the same with your son. I mean, exactly the same. Looks, incredibly jolly, happy, and that's fantastic. But I guess in terms of, I know we were speaking a little bit about his health now, and in terms of how he is as a child now. Is he sort of all? Would you be able to tell necessarily? Is he just a normal, happy child, etc.?
So his happiness and how he's doing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So he's doing fine, like just like a normal child. He's kind of naughty now. So you can just hear the voice from the background as so, but everything like now we forgot whatever like the time has been passed. So from his activity you can, and just he interacted right away.
yeah.
So from that point of time, like that is also fine. As of now, just like normal child, he is doing the same things.
That's
So
brilliant.
activity wise, like he is very like he has becoming actor as well. Like he is doing watching the cartoons and then doing the actings as well. So we never think like he's having the same disease unless the particular section comes in our life just to go ahead and see and take care of the things. Apart from that, everything is just like normal thing.
Brilliant. No, that's so good to hear because again, we people with Hirschsprungs, we go through. I mean, you said 4 or 5 surgeries, already. I mean, probably has had more surgeries in his short life thus far than most people will ever have in their entire life. I mean, most people may have one, possibly 1 to 2 surgeries, but with Hirschsprung's, it's unavoidable. So to see that he's really happy, healthy, it is so good to see. So good to see. And I guess as we sort of come to the end of this, in terms of, I know we've spoken a little bit about his health now, and what he's doing and school and everything and what he's doing now. In terms of the future, I know it's quite difficult to predict with Hirschsprungs at the best of times, especially with TIA, incredibly difficult to predict. But in terms of what the future looks like for him, again, both sort of health wise and sort of normal life wise, what do you see potentially in the future?
So coming to the health phase, what we have observed and what doctor has told, like there would be a challenge of having the weight.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the challenges that we'll be having. But gradually he is learning the things. But what we are thinking is like 5 years or 7 years down the line, as and when, like he is also like very kind of intelligent, catching the things early, like very early. So if we make her and make him understand the things, so he will understand. So what we are thinking, some parts would be there that he has to take care of. Although we are there, we would be taking care of, but we want him to learn the things like what to take, what not to take, what is good for health. So these kind of things would be there, but with the little education, the things will be happen, and he will like like almost he will live a normal life, like close to normal life. That
Yeah,
that is what
yes,
I can
as
say.
normal as we can with
Yeah,
Hirschsprungs.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I just want to say thank you so, so much, I guess, to both of you, both you and your son, because you both made an appearance, for coming on and sharing his story. It's, again, as I said, meeting people with uh, total intestinal ganglionosis type of Hirschsprungs. I mean, it's so, so rare.
Yeah.
And undoubtedly, I have people who listen to this show who have the same type of Hirschsprungs and really want to hear more stories. So to have you on to share your son's story and to have him on as well has been brilliant. So just want to say thank you so, so much for coming on. It has been really, really good to chat to you. And I know it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. That I wish you, your son, your wife, and your family the very, very best in the future.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. You were also.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So, Tom, I would like to thank you as well for the for doing this particular very great job you are doing, because when we encountered this situation in our life, this was the very first time, and that is like with everyone. This is a very shocking things that this happened. This is very unfortunate, but with your podcast, people will be able to understand the things in a better way, and they will also be able to like connect with the people who had already passed through these kind of situations. So that is very great effort, very great initiative you have taken, and educating people regarding this particular disease. Even we have thought of creating a channel, but unfortunately we didn't get time to start. But you are there, like that is why like God has created the time, and we can go ahead and I'll be come to the podcast and we'll discuss it about. So very much thankful to you for creating this particular channel. Yeah.
No problem. And feel free to create your own channel anytime. The more channels, the more podcasts we have of Hirschsprungs, the better. Hopefully, I don't have a monopoly on it forever. The more people, the more channels, the better. But yes, thank you so, so much for coming on. It has been great to chat to you.
Thanks, Tom.